Let's take a look at your Vancouver West and Vancouver East market segments broken down. What does it cost and what's the market doing? November 2024 for Vancouver West Detached, you're looking at 3.384. That's down 2.4% year over year, but bouncing up a half a point month over month, basically staying flat. And you're going up from 10.4 to 10.6 months of inventory. However, the key thing to note here is that your inventory has decreased year over year by almost 7%. So it looks like the downward pressure in that market is slowly starting to come down, and we'll see where we end up next year. But point is, it looks like it's a good opportunity for that Vancouver East Detached. Vancouver West Townhomes, you're looking at 1.519 in November. That's up 6.7, almost 7% year over year, and up 4.3% month over month. This is a hot product. Notably, also months of inventory sitting at 5, which is balanced. So it's come down to 5 from a buyer's market into more balanced market year over year, tightening up as well month over month and getting hotter quickly. Vancouver West condos, you're looking at 825,900 for a Vancouver West condo. Price is down 1.3% year over year, so pretty much flat or negligible, and down 0.5% month over month. So this is a marketplace where you're at 7.2 months of inventory. So that inventory is coming up again, up from 6 months of inventory. So it's been sitting in a little bit of that buyer's market, but you can see again, inventory year over year is tightening up. This is why we're starting to feel like we're getting a little bit of a rebound, or maybe the indications of a turning around in the marketplace. Now, Vancouver East Detached, you're at 1.862 for a detached property in Vancouver East. That's up 0.% year over year. So really flat year over year and down 1.5% month over month. You're sitting at almost 8 months of inventory. So buyer's market territory, but tightened up slightly from the month of October, and is also down 10% year over year. So that inventory is starting to shrink. One word of advice about Vancouver East Detached, I would argue that a lot of the supply that is sitting out there that isn't getting sold is not homes that resale buyers are looking for, and is what I would consider fake inventory and overinflating what's happening here. I think there's a lot of lots for sale, homes that you would tear down and build on, people that are hoping that it's going to turn to a multiplex and they're going to get paid exorbitant amounts of money for this particular property, or land assembly. In this space, a livable detached home is definitely north of that $1.8 million mark. And I would say when they come up, they tend to move. So keep that in mind. Some of these numbers are not telling the whole story. Vancouver East Townhomes, you're looking at 1.118. That's down 3% month over month, but up 1% year over year. So you had some gains, but we're giving a little bit of that away on the east side. So interesting to note. However, you're sitting at 3.6 months of inventory, up from October. So you're going in that sellers to more of a closer to a balanced market. I'm not too worried about this one, or I'm not worried about any market segment for that matter. However, I do think that this will be a market segment that you could take advantage of. And most Vancouver East townhomes in general, just hard to get, thus reflected by the months of inventory in terms of the amount of inventory and the sales. There's just not a lot of that product available for families. Condos, you're now looking at $692,000 for a benchmark price for a Vancouver East condo. That is down, almost 1% year over year. So basically flat and bouncing up 1% month over month. So that could be that turnaround there. You're sitting at 4.2 months of inventory. So just on the cusp of that seller's market territory. And you can see that's come down 30% year over year in terms of months of inventory. And you see that little rebound here in price. So again, this is why we feel like the spring is shaping up. If you're a buyer sitting on the sidelines, I think now's the time to get serious and start getting into this marketplace to take advantage of this, especially if things like the 50-point interest rate reduction stimulates even more activity that started to show up after the consecutive rate reductions that started since June. We're now at a decrease of 1.75% since the reduction cycle began in June. And most likely there's more to come. Now, of course, if there's more to come, that means that things aren't potentially looking so great in the economy, but Vancouver and the overall Canadian economy have always been in a dichotomy.